Morning, I'm Gary Stone from PaddleBoard Specialists. I just finished testing the 2011 Tahoe Zephyr 12.6 and the 2011 Amundson Aquaglide TR 12.6. Just want to talk a little bit about each one. I'll start with the TR. First, it's a really nice board. I'm very impressed at the $12.99 price point. It's a displacement bow, very hard rails, 29.5 inches wide with a very flat deck. It has a very high degree of stability in the water. Part of that is the flat deck, part of that is the very wide squared off tail. I felt it had very, very good glide, actually class leading glide at this price point. The Zephyr, also a displacement bow, exactly the same length and width, 29.5. These boards are 1 liter in volume apart. This board also had very good glide, very, very close to the Amundson. It was smooth, it had very straight tracking and a little bit of chop that we have this morning. It was a pleasure to paddle. I'd be happy to go for a long tour on this board. Both of these boards are 12.6 by 29.5. Their volumes are within 1 liter. The Aquaglide at 247, the Zephyr at 248. The Aquaglide has very squared off rails. Pointy nose and V in the front. It extends all the way up to the nose and back to about the 32 to 34 inch range. With a 2/3 deck pad, you can very easily get well back should you choose to use the Aquaglide touring race for a downwind run. The Zephyr is an absolutely beautiful board with a full bamboo sandwich laminate deck, a custom soft and very comfortable deck pad, and a feature very few boards have, a carry handle instead of a handhold where your fingers go inside, which I found to be very, very comfortable. In addition, the board has 4 tie-down points in the front and 4 more in the back. So any loads you might want to carry with you would be really, really easy to add some bungee cord and off you go. As you can see, these boards are really different in the nose. Even though they both have pointed noses, the Zephyr has a full vertical cutting bow, whereas the Aquaglide has nose rocker that extends from the bottom of the board up, so it's not quite flat coming forward. It has V, and it does have a cutting bow. However, in smooth water, you're going to be back, the entry is going to be back about 6 to 12 inches depending upon your weight. The Amundson is available in 2 constructions, a high pressure thermally molded AST construction, which is a very impact resistant epoxy resin molded construction. And this particular board is that construction and weighed in at 32 pounds 4 ounces. The Zephyr next to it is a hand laminated bamboo sandwich composite. For the 2011 models, they've switched to a lower density EPS core, and I was really pleased. This board weighed in at 26 pounds 10 ounces. Going back to the Aquaglide TR again for a moment, this board is also available in a carbon wood sandwich construction at 28 pounds even. For my test today, I was using the heavier one. Now I want to talk a little bit about how the board's performed. The Aquaglide had really nice glide. I was impressed. Oftentimes I paddle boards, and when I stop paddling, the board just wants to stop. The Aquaglide had impressive glide. I wouldn't quite call it best in class, but clearly best in class at the $12.99 price point. The Zephyr also had very good glide, very clean entry, and had a nice all-around feel to it. Both boards had very high stability. I didn't think about my balance one bit. I am kind of light at 157 pounds. I wouldn't hesitate putting a first-time paddler up to 200 pounds who'd never been on a board on either one of these. Wanted to give you one more view of the bottom of the boards from the front. And one more view of the bottom of the boards from the back. And a quick look at the fins. The Tahoe in particular has a beautiful wood laminate raked fin. Should be pretty good about letting go of weeds as well. And the Amundson has a little more of a racing kind of shaped fin in epoxy construction.